Ladies and gentlemen and Java programmers, we're going to create a subtract method. But before we do, answer this question. It looks familiar, but answer it again. What is a method? Okay, so next we're going to create a public method named subtract. So do that. Have it return an int. That'll be the difference. Okay, but we'll do that later. Is this method void or non-void? Is it a command or a question? And finally, the subtract method should accept two int parameters, A and B. So you're going to send it to the two numbers. It's going to subtract them and then answer the question. Okay, so see if you can do this on your own before you cheat like a sissy off of me. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go up here. Here's our add method. So it starts there, ends there. So we're going to hit enter, enter, and we're going to say public. And this is going to be an entity return integer, and we're going to say subtract. Okay, and inside here it's going to be int A and int B, just like we did up here for the add. Okay, and then we're going to have our curly braces, and that's it so far. That's what we've got so far. And okay, so the next thing we're going to do, let's see what's next on the agenda here. And it may have an error. What is the problem? Answer that question. What is the problem? So we have this thing here. The problem is it's missing a return statement. So we need to return something. And we'll return, just to satisfy it for now, that's the wrong answer, but at least that will satisfy it for the time being. Okay, let's go to the next thing. Okay, so this is non-void, and it is a question, so I have to answer the question, so that's why we have to return the answer. That's what we just added that return 5 for. Create a variable called difference that holds whole numbers. Subtract b from a and assign the value to difference, and then we're going to make the method return the difference. See if you can do that on your own before you copy off of me. Okay, so we're going to create our variable int difference. Okay, so we just created a local variable, a little box in the RAM called difference. The only thing that can go into it is an integer. And then we're going to say difference equals a minus b. Okay, and then we're going to finally return the difference. Something like that should work. And let's see what's next on the spiel. Add comments above the subtract method with your name inside of it. So we'll do that. And add your name in there, something like that. Okay, and so what is a local variable? Okay, so this is going to be, I'm going to escape on here. I'm going to say this is inside the main. So inside the main method, we want to create a local variable. Before we do that, what is a local variable? So I'll answer that question before we go on, and then let's go over here, and we'll see if you can do this before I do it. Okay, but a local variable, so difference is a local variable, sum is a local variable. So basically it's a box in the RAM that holds information, and it doesn't last forever. It only lasts inside the method. Okay, so it only lasts from here to here, then disappears. Difference only lasts from here to here, then disappears. So we're going to do the same thing inside of the main method. So here's our main method over here. So we're going to click right here, and we're going to create a local variable called new subtract. So we're going to say int new, I can't type. Okay, so int new subtract, and then we're going to assign it a value. New subtract equals. So we're going to talk to my calculator again. So we created a calculator called my calculator. So it's my calculator, and we want to ask it to do something. So we're going to say dot, and then we want it to subtract. And then we're going to put in that, and it's going to be 37 and 11. So we're going to subtract 11 from 37. So we're going to give it a semicolon to ask it to do that. And then finally, so that should be fine. And then let's go back to our spiel. Okay. And then finally, we want to print out the value of new subtract and add comments. So let's jump back over here and do that. Okay, so we're going to say our classic, we'll just copy this. System.out.println new subtract. And we're going to put a comment in here. Put your name in there, something like that. Okay, so let's run it and see if it'll actually do this. And it did it. Okay, that's excellent. All right, so I think that is it for this one. Let's take a look and see if we're done. Oh, no, we're not. What do you call the dot after my calculator? So you say my calculator dot. And what does it do? So answer that question. Well, if you look at it right here, so we have my calculator dot add, my calculator dot subtract. Okay, that thing's called the dot notation. And it basically is asking, so we basically have done this. We're going to say we have a box in the RAM called my calculator. It's holding a calculator object. And we want this guy to do something, so we say my calculator dot. And it's like, oh, okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to run a method, and then you tell them what method. So it, basically, you could have 20 different calculators, but we're talking to this particular one called my calculator, and it lives in this box called my calculator. And that is it. Thanks, guys.